If you're hearing this, life has chosen you for the next step. Not everyone is ready for it. Not everyone can handle it. There is a truth behind Joel Goldsmith's teaching so intense, so identity-shattering, that he rarely spoke it aloud. Part 1 revealed the Great Nothingness, the space where you stop trying, stop fixing, stop seeking. But beyond that stillness lies a deeper level, the most hidden teaching of all, the dissolution of the personal I. This is where not only your problems dissolve, you dissolve. Not your body, not your memories, but the small sense of me that believes it is separate from God, separate from life, separate from everything. Goldsmith said that this step cannot be approached by the human mind. It must be surrendered to, not understood. Tonight, we go there. After the Great Nothingness comes the moment most seekers turn away from, the moment where the me who has been doing all the seeking begins to fade. It feels like standing at the edge of a cliff with no ground beneath your feet. It feels like losing control, and in a way you are. The you who tried to manage life can no longer function here. But what replaces it is something far more powerful, the infinite I. The God I, the I that never began, never ends, and never fears. You don't become enlightened. You simply disappear into the consciousness that has always been enlightened. This is the step most people fear because it demands the end of the seeker itself. Spiritual seekers want comfort, not annihilation. They want miracles, not identity death. They want healing, not the end of the healer. But Goldsmith's deepest insight was this: the moment the personal I dissolves, life becomes miraculous without effort, not because you made it happen, but because there was no you left to interfere. Let me show you what this looks like through a raw American story. Rachel, a woman in Colorado, lost her husband in a hiking accident. In one moment, her world collapsed. Bills piled up, nights became unbearable, grief swallowed her whole. Friends told her to pray. Counselors told her to grieve. Spiritual guides told her to meditate. But none of it touched the real wound, the feeling that her identity had died with him. Months later, on the living room floor, she whispered, "I don't know who I am anymore. I don't know how to keep going. If there's anything left of me, take it. I surrender." It wasn't dramatic. It was pure exhaustion, the final breath of the personal I. In that surrender, something silent emerged. Not peace, but spacious awareness. She realized there was a part of her untouched by the tragedy, untouched by grief, untouched by death. That presence became her center. Her life began to rebuild, not because she healed, but because the one who was broken had dissolved. Later she said, "The day I lost my husband, I thought my life ended. But the day I lost my sense of me, life began." This is the power of dissolving the personal I. Most seekers stop at part 1. They say, "I am consciousness. I am whole. I am divine." But they still believe it is them who are divine. They put a spiritual costume on the same old ego. That is not transformation. That is spiritual ego, the most dangerous ego of all. Goldsmith warned repeatedly, "The personal sense of I must die before the God I can live." This is not physical death. It is the death of illusion, the end of separation. You stop saying, "I am trying to live spiritually," and begin realizing life itself is living you, God is breathing you, consciousness is unfolding you. Let me take you to New York. Derek was a successful tech executive with the income, the status, the lifestyle, and a secret crushing anxiety. He discovered Goldsmith's work during a panic attack in a bathroom stall. For months he meditated, affirmed, visualized, but the anxiety stayed. Why? Because he wanted awakening only to stabilize his ego. He wanted spirituality to protect his success. Then one day during another panic spiral, a sentence dropped into his awareness. You were trying to save a you that doesn't exist. He froze. Something cracked. He realized that the Derek he was protecting, improving, and trying to fix was a story, a character, not his true self. As that illusion weakened, so did the anxiety. A year later he said, I didn't conquer fear. The one who was afraid dissolved. This is the heart of Goldsmith's deepest teaching. The personal I wants peace, but the real I is peace. The personal I wants healing, but the real I cannot be sick. The personal I wants abundance, but the real I is infinite supply. The personal I wants love, but the real I is love itself. The moment you stop feeding the personal I, the real I reveals itself as the only presence that has ever lived your life. There is a moment, and if you've tasted it even once you know, where the boundaries of me dissolve. You feel no separation, no identity, no future, no past. You become pure witnessing presence. And from then on, even when the personal self returns, something has shifted permanently. The seeking ends, not because you found something, but because the seeker disappeared. But here's the test. Can you let go of being you? Most people want miracles, not surrender. They want freedom, not identity death. They want God to fix their story, not erase the storyteller. The deepest leap requires the most terrifying willingness to let go of your spiritual identity, your victim identity, your achiever identity, your wounded identity, your labels, your story, because none of it is you. When the personal I fades, you don't become less, you become everything. Here is the hidden truth teachers rarely say. There is no such thing as your consciousness. There is only consciousness expressing as you. You are not an individual awakening. Awakening is recognizing itself through you. You are not becoming spiritual. Spirit is remembering itself through you. This breaks the last layer of ego. And now the most intense story. A story many people cannot hear without breaking open. A young father named Aaron in Ohio lost his child to a rare illness. He collapsed into a grief beyond language. He stopped eating, stopped working, stopped functioning. Nothing could reach him. One night he opened a Goldsmith book and read a line, "Nothing real can be harmed. Nothing unreal exists." He threw the book, screaming in rage. But days later, something softened. Sitting in silence, he whispered, "I don't understand any of this. But take everything. Take the pain. Take the story. Take me." It wasn't prayer. It was surrender so absolute it emptied him completely. In that silence, a presence filled the room, not a spirit, not a vision, but an awareness so vast and loving it felt like the universe itself had embraced him. In that presence he felt his child, not as a memory, not as a ghost, but as pure being, one with everything. He realized his child had never died. Only the concept of the child died. Life cannot die. It only changes form. Later he said, "I didn't heal. I dissolved. And what replaced me was love too big for one lifetime." This is what happens after the personal I disappears. You no longer live life. Life lives you. You don't make choices. Choices arise. You don't seek guidance, guidance flows. You don't fear the future because there is no future, only this moment expressing itself. This is the God I. The I Jesus meant when he said, I and the Father are one. The I Goldsmith meant when he said, there is only one I, and it is God. If you're still listening, you're not here by accident. Your heart is beating differently because this teaching is awakening in you. The personal I is loosening. The God self is rising. Let it. Don't resist. Don't cling to who you were. You are being rewritten from the inside out. If this message spoke to you, do 3 things. Like this video to help someone who needs it find their way tonight. Subscribe so you don't miss part 3, because you are ready for it. And comment below. The personal I dissolves now, not as a wish. As a declaration, you were never the seeker, never the struggler, never the story. You are the eternal I, the one self appearing as all forms, living all lives. The game of separation is ending. The truth of your being is awakening. You are dissolving into what you have always been, pure, infinite, untouchable, divine being expressing as you right now.